The 5 stages to implement AI in a business. You want to watch this because you are a small business owner, or you are an entrepreneur, or you are a CEO of a company, could be small or big company, and you want to understand how to effectively implement AI. So I was talking to a lady, and then she owns flower shops, and then she has 3, and she said, Nelson, I've heard about ChatGPT, Cloud, but I'm so confused. I'm overwhelmed. It's so much. I mean, every single day there is something new. I don't understand it. I try to use ChatGPT, but I don't understand it. Help me to understand this thing. How do we bring AI into my 3 businesses? I said, okay, there are 5 stages. She said, 5 stages, what are they? So the first stage is large language models, LLMs. The second is tools, diffusion tools. The third is workflows. Okay, workflows. The 4th is agents. And then the 5th is the AI infrastructure. This is the complete structure. Okay, so let's look into this. You have a business, you're an entrepreneur, you want to add AI into your business. Where do you start? So large language models. We have Grok, we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Cloud, we have DeepSeek, you have Meta AI. What's the best? Well, here is the secret. Every single large language model is very good at doing one thing. So it's a good idea to have a knowledge of the of a few, but you want to concentrate your time first 3 to 6 months learning one. ChatGPT has a problem, and this is the challenge to deal with security. They are sharing data. So whatever you type into ChatGPT, ChatGPT will use that to educate itself, and then that content goes somewhere else. We don't know what it is. It's not safe. Okay, so there is one called Microsoft Pilot, but Microsoft Pilot is the same as ChatGPT because Microsoft gave money to ChatGPT, and then Microsoft Pilot offset of ChatGPT. So the first stage of a business journey, okay, here is to decide which large language models. By the way, these 2 stages, they belong to the same. This is education. You want to bring your team, say, okay, marketing team, these are the best tools, these are the best techniques, these are the best policies within the company. So the first stage is to decide what's the best large language model. Is Cloud AI, is Gemini, is Grok, what's the best language? The second stage of AI adoption is tools. These are diffusion tools. So remember, we have generative AI is the mother, we have diffusion tools, and we have large language models. Here is the problem. Every 4.5 hours, there is a new diffusion tool in the marketplace. So there are more than 2,000. Which one is the best? There are diffusion tools for marketing, for lead generation, for content creation, for sales, for there are CRMs involved. So it's a vast field. So the first stage is education. You see, if you try to implement AI by force, people are emotionally upset, psychologically, intellectually detached from the thing. And then understand, AI costs money, it costs time. So you want to have a return of investment. So the first stage is not even to bring agents. Diffusion tools allow you to create websites, landing pages. They're powerful, but which ones are the best? Which one should you use? They're very powerful. There are tools for design, content creation. There are tools for communication. There are tools for, you name it. First, decide large language model. Second, decide which tools are we going to use. These 2 stages belong to the same level, is education. The third stage is workflows. What is workflows? So workflows is the flow of data, is the flow of work. In the morning, I go to my desk, I open my laptop, I search for leads on LinkedIn, and then I find leads, I send them emails, then I wait for a reply, I hope they will reply. And then I repeat the same process. Then by the time I've emailed 10 or 20 people, it's 12 o'clock. Why don't we create a workflow that does that 24/7? So we can scrape LinkedIn, right? We analyze the data using large language models, and then we create a draft, and then we send an email. But then we can also use anti-gravity to create a set of emails that will be sent. So it's automated. It's a workflow. We remove the manual element. Okay, this is very important. But by then we have decided the best large language models, the best efficient tools. This is critical because we are moving from manual, from spending time doing the same thing again, to creative workflows. Now, the fourth stage of AI adoption is agents. Very important. 2025 was the age of agents. 2026 is the age of agentic AI. Meaning we have now independent agents. They can think, they can reason, they can, we can have agents that make their own decisions. We give them instructions, of course, and then they're available on 24/7. Okay? So think of this, workflows, the difference between workflows and agents is that workflows is static, it goes this way. Agents, they will decide, no, I don't need this step, I will move into this step. No, I will move into this step to refine. No, I will do this at 3 o'clock because it's not 2 p.m. While a workflow will just is static, it just is there. It follows a specific line of interaction. So we have agents, we have workflows. Now, then we have the complete system. Here is the enterprise. Yeah. So the fifth stage of AI integration, AI adoption, it represents maturity. So we have moved from number 1 to number 5. We know which tools we're using, which large language models are ideal for our company, and which workflows we already have the workflows. So this is a next step, is a next logical step. The worst thing you can do as a company, as a business, is to start from 5. It's a huge amount of money, and that's why McKinsey and Company, they said 80% of AI projects, they fail. 80%. Why? Because we skip the work, we skip the essential work. Now, these 5 stages, this is a 24 months project. It's not a 3 days project. So step number 5 of this AI implementation, it represents maturity. It's the mature level of adoption. It's the responsible company that it doesn't jump into the trends. It takes its time, it looks into the ROI, it looks into the pros and cons, evaluates before it makes a decision. Because on step number 5, we have one brain, a central agent that manages different agents from different departments. So we have sales, we have marketing, we have lead generation, we have customer service, we have product delivery. So these departments are being managed by one agent. It is multiple agents working at the same time. So it's like the manager. We have an agent who's the manager and is managing different agents. This is agentic AI. We have moved from generative AI in here. So this is generative AI. We start from generative AI and we move into agentic AI. 2026, we are now in the age of agentic AI. So you as a manager, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you want to understand these stages. Is to ask, is to have a meeting with your co-workers and said, where are we as a company? We are attending workshops on ChatGPT still, and we don't have a clear plan which tools we are using, which benefits us. We're trying to find out what's going on. We are losing time, we are losing money. How do you bring all of this in one single place? There is a very important step which guarantees success in AI adoption. Because remember, 80% of AI implementation fails. You want to be in part of the 20%. How do you do that? I'll show you how to do it. There is a document. There is a very important document. The most important document in the world of AI. Please pay attention to this. When the founder of the company, when they created the company, they wrote a business plan. Okay? In the age of AI, we evolved from the business plan to an AI audit. Let's explore this very important document which we call the AI audit. It is the most important document you will need before you get involved in all of this, before you spend money, before you spend time, before you spend the emotional currency with your employees, with your team, is an audit. An audit is like if you go into a clinic or a hospital and the surgeon wants to operate you without a diagnosis. They just fancy operating you. We're going to cut one leg, and you say, why? Why are we implementing AI? Why? What's the ROI? Why? What are we automating? And why do we need automation, by the way? Which tools do we use? Do we need agents? Please understand, AI costs time, it costs money. It's not free. So for us to get the best of AI, we need a document. It's called the AI audit. The first step, the most important step you can take before you get involved, you involve your team and your time and your money, is an AI audit. It's the most important document. By the way, if you are a manager, if you are a CEO, and you're interested in adopting AI the right way, yeah, please talk to us about audits. Okay, so the first thing we do is we provide education. Is a one-day workshop for you and your team, and then we talk about audits. The best document, the best move you will make in the age of AI is not by jumping and implementing an agent or a workflow or starting to use a tool because everybody's using. The best thing you will do as a responsible, ambitious manager or CEO is by creating an audit. So I love creating audits because audits is the integrity element. Instead of trying to sell you something you don't need, we will go and spend 2, 3, 4 weeks, 8 weeks if necessary, scanning the company, mapping the company, talking to the people to find out what's the bottleneck, for example, what's the ideal solution. So the best way to implement AI, the 5 stages, is not by jumping into ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini and waste your time. Is by creating an audit. An audit will tell you what's the best LLM for the business, what are the best decision tools, what are the best workflows, whether you need agents, and whether you need the entire system. This is the complete orchestration of your business. So yeah, best way to start AI is an audit, and I'll be delighted to be that person who created the audit for your company. I love the whole thing about AI and education and ChatGPT, but the best way for us, the best investment you'll make regarding AI is to start with an audit. If you are interested, get in touch with me. I'll be delighted to talk to you over Zoom or meet you, and we can create an audit. An audit is like you don't allow the surgeon to operate your business because your business is the patient. Don't allow a single surgeon to touch your business without a diagnosis. The diagnosis comes as an audit. It tells you everything you need about the best way to implement AI in your business. So I will explore the subject of audits in the next session.